he came up to me afterwards. He was like, yeah, I'm doing this thing called Red Hook Crit. Do you want to come do it with me? And I was like,
what year is this?
This is 2015. So I'm like 20. He was like, yeah, just come do this. Like, we can like pay for some flights and stuff and you can just like come race with us. I was like, that sounds sick. And I was like, he said it's like Moto GP on bicycles. I was like, man, that's like my dream job. The reason I got into riding bicycles is because I watched motorbikes as a kid and I wasn't allowed to do that. I was like, next best thing is a bicycle, right? Like, I just make the engine noise in my mouth as a kid, like, wow. But that's pretty much what happened. And then I did this Red Hook Crit thing and I was like, this is sick. And then I just kept doing that. And then one thing led to another, got chatting to more people. All of a sudden I was getting paid to do it. I was like, this is mad. And then I just want to keep doing this. This is sick. And then set up my own thing because I didn't want it to stop. And now I'm here. So yeah, that's kind of how it works.
Well, that was our guest last week, Alec Briggs, the owner of Tekkerz CC. A really great episode. He is from London. We speak about that London culture, plus we speak about his career a little bit, which is a little bit different. As you can hear, we talk about the Red Hook Criteriums. He's done a whole bunch of stuff. Among many things, he's created his own team, Tekkerz CC, Tekkerz Cycling Charisma. Go back and listen to that episode if you want to hear anything more about that. I've had some great feedback about that episode. I love chatting to him, but I really love chatting to all my guests, and everyone loved listening to Alec. So go back and have a listen to that episode. We've got him here on Talking Luft as well. That's what's coming up. But I've actually been on a bit of an adventure this week. I went away with the Rapha crew, the RCC, the Rapha Cycling Club members, and I did a pilgrimage. Rapha put on a lot of rides for their RCC members. They do prestige rides, they do pilgrimages, they do weekly group rides. And I was able to chat with all the RCC members this week as we pilgrimaged down from Sydney all the way down to a place called Wagga Wagga where we competed in an event called the Dirty 130, and it was great to chat to them why they've become members of Rapha. I have an idea about Rapha, what I like about it, but I've got a bit more of the pro angle. From the World Tour, I love their kit and I love that angle they have. Now it's great for me to get involved with why people are joining the RCC, your everyday punter, what they get out of it. Have a listen to Ross, what he thinks about it.
Oh, it's not one thing actually. It's kind of the mix of kind of social side and then the kind of local rides, but then also the kind of other events and rides like the prestige rides that kind of stretch you. So yeah, it gives you a good mix of things to do. It's all of that kind of wrapped into one, but you get to meet people from across the country, and then we stay in touch afterwards. So it kind of helps you with the next stage of what you want to do, kind of motivates you to go and do something else, maybe look at other things across the country, but keeps you motivated. That's the main thing. Yeah, you can go to the partner cafes as well, and that's really good. Social scene after the ride, that's always nice, and catching up with people. And that's probably the main thing. You can choose to kind of push yourself or kind of have a bit more of a social ride. That's what I like. Bit of choice.
Well, it is also a special time of year as well. The classics are upon us, and you know how much I love the classics, more specifically Paris-Roubaix. And well, Life in the Peloton have got a surprise for you too, because we've got the Roubaix caps back. They went out, and by popular demand, they're back. Our Life in the Peloton subscribers got a little bit of a heads up on it, so they've already been getting into the Roubaix caps, but there's still a few left out there. So go across and check out the Etsy shop, go to lifeinthepeloton.com and grab yourself a Roubaix cap so you can sit down and watch this year's edition of Paris-Roubaix in 3 weeks' time and have one of the last Sunday in Hell caps on. But for now, I'm going to bring you the Talking Luft episode with Alec. Enjoy. All right, let's start this one. We've got a Talking Luft here with Alec Briggs. This is going to be a good one. He's got plenty of style. So the way this works, mate, this year anyway, is 4 topics. Style, bikes, culture, and about you, with some questions underneath. And we start with style, and we start with caps. Capellinos, casquettes. What is your style? How do you wear yours without a helmet when you're walking around, when you're cruising around, whatever you're doing, what is your style with the Capellino?
All right, so for me, it's like you place it on your head as normal, but you pull it to like 2/3 of the way down. Like the elastic can't go full stretch on your head. The elastic's got like a few crimples in the back. That's how I'm doing it. And it's like, you can bowl around, the glasses on top or whatever, add a little extra flair. But yeah, man, not backwards, not to the side like, some like old school Fresh Prince. Just a little bit of luft. Just a little bit.
Forward, brim down, and he's got probably about, from what I can see here, about 10 centimeters worth of gap from the top of his ear to the top of the hat, which is a good amount of luft. Yeah.
I'm not the guy that's trying to like show everyone I'm a luft guy. I just want you to like double take, and you look and you go, a little bit of luft. Yeah, nice. That's the way.
All right, if you could have raced back in the day without a helmet, what would your style have been? Would it have been a headband, cap, forward bit of luft, or would it have been like a sausage helmet, old leather helmet, bandana potentially, or just the old golden locks or tinged orange locks flowing in the wind?
Oh, you know what? I don't know, man. That's a hard question. Depending on my age and my hairline status, it would probably be the hair, right? But then when it starts going a little bit ropey and going back, you might sneak in the headband. But when the headband ain't doing you justice anymore, and like, there's a bit of a hair to scalp gap there. What's going on between the headband? And that's when the cap comes out. And you're bowling around the cap like, yeah, man, this is baller. And I reckon I'd race a bit backwards. I'd be like, back. I'd race a bit backwards with it flicked up at the back, 100%. So there's a transition, I'd have like a phases, when they like there's like the generation of hairstyles of like Ronaldinho or Neymar or something. Everyone's like, he's got this hairstyle now. But for me, it would just be he's had a hairstyle, he can't afford that hairstyle anymore, so now he's got a cap, and it'll be like the two eras. Which one was the better era? That's how I do it.
Do you think that's been something that you've noticed actually with old pros? Maybe they did do that back in the day. As they got older, they changed their style. I think that would have been the way. You
know what, yeah? You think about Wiggo. Like Wiggo's gone through so many styles. He's been like different people with his looks. He went from like skinny mod to hench, like, bro, I'm out. You just take what you want. You know what I mean? Like he's old pros though. I'm trying to think. Like, is there anyone for you that stood out that like had like two different looks?
Chippo, did he always have the brill cream hair back, slick back hair? I feel like he would have started with a hat, and as he got older and bigger and liney, as he turned into the big line, he sort of brought that style out.
Do you reckon back then would your mullet be longer or shorter if you were racing without a helmet?
I always used to like Carpets, Vladimir Carpets mullet. That's sort of length for me. Look, nothing against Shane. Shane Archibald is the flying mullet, but that's too much mullet for me.
It looks like a ponytail, man. Like, fair play to him, but that ain't a mullet. I see a ponytail. I don't see anything else. You know what I mean? It's like, no disrespect to his mullet, but he's just, that's the way I'm viewing it. I didn't even know it was a mullet. You're the first person telling me this. I was like, yeah, that's to do with the ponytail.
He's the official flying mullet, right? What is it? Do you still shave your legs? What's your leg status these days?
Right now? Nah, because like, that's faff, man. Like, I've got nothing, it's nothing to do with like the manliness or like, whatever. Like, my legs are what they are, I don't care. But there's something about turning up to race day with shaved legs and you go, yeah, I might go fast today. But, when like that pre-season time, like you might do them with the buzz razor, like the one that you shave your beard with, but then you won't fully shave them because you're not worthy of that yet. Like, you're not going fast enough to warrant shaved legs. So I'm in that stage right now. So if I went and did a race and I had to wear shorts, I ain't shaving them properly and just buzzing them. I'd be like, yeah, a little bit of stubble, not that fast yet. That's how it works.
What about kit now? Because obviously you got the Tekkerz kit, but if you didn't have Tekkerz kit, are you like an ex-pro kit sort of guy, or you like to sort of look for the new wave stuff out there?
I'm a bit of everything, man. Like, I'm into, when I first designed my first Tekkerz kit, I wanted it to be a modern take on classics. So I had like the white box and stuff, and the big name across, kind of like the old, like the Famer kit and stuff like that. Is that how you say it? And I want to almost look like the Marlboro.
Oh yeah, right.
That one was banging. I reckon, what I'd do? I'd have an old school motor racing kit in the style of Repsol Honda as a cycling kit. That's the way I'd do it. With the turquoise green and stuff. It's banging.
Nice. I like it. All right, next topic. Bikes. RMG, road, mountain bike, or gravel bike? One bike forever. What are you going to choose? Well, gravel bike, cross bike, whatever you want to use as that last bike. I haven't actually included for you track bike or single speed.
I don't think you could look past a cross bike, mostly because I've raced crits on a cross bike before, so I'm not worried about that. And then I could still get the same sort of thrills from mountain bike on a cross bike. But if I was truly, I don't know, man. Because really, I love racing, right? So I hate riding road bikes, but I love racing them. And I love riding mountain bikes, but I hate racing them. So
cross bike it is then. You like riding it and you like racing it.
Yeah. You know what? Fair play. There you go. Done. Cross bike.
Social bunch or hour of power when you go out?
Social bunch, only because sprinting for towns lines is too funny.
Do you have a Strava account?
Yeah, but I post on it like twice a year. They even gave me I did like a podcast with Strava and they gave me like the tick thing. And you got to start posting on Strava now. I know. I feel so bad, but I don't. It's just, who cares, man? So
you don't hunt comms then, KOMs?
No, I like downhill ones.
Oh yeah.
I once tried to go for the downhill KOM in Sakalobra, and I came around the corner, and there was a car overtaking a go into a blind corner on my side of the road, and I hit the windscreen and almost died.
Oh, right. Why are we laughing at that?
Honestly, no way. But I had this brand new bike ride that was supposed to come out for a couple months, and I was shooting a video for it, and I smashed this brand new bike into 8 pieces. It was so messed up, man. It was crazy.
Advertisement for Strava comms right now. Yeah, nice. Favorite training loop of all time, and think of that loop, just that ride you like to do. Someone's going to know. It could be just but what about the ride to Herne Hill, or the ride over to Crystal Palace, or I don't know, maybe you've just got a mountain bike loop.
Yeah, my favourite training ride is a race. Basically, ride to Crystal Palace Park, race it, and ride home. That's top tier. You do 100 and something K, and you had a sick time, and you don't even notice that you're training. I hate training, man. It sucks. So I don't have a favourite training loop, but mountain bike is sick.
What's the road like on the way there and on the way back? Is it a pretty hectic sort of traffic ride, or is it pretty cruisy? And once you finish the race, you're sort of rolling home, going, yeah. You stop at a place, get some snacks, or even a cheeky bar because all the pressure's off. Is it that sort of ride home, or is it a bit more I just got to get home on this shit road with a bit of a headwind? So
it's a sick ride home. Basically, the ride up from my house was 10 minutes, and you'd bang it up, warm up on the hill, go straight to the race, and then afterwards you go to the pub or Four Boroughs, which they sell beers and coffees at and stuff. You go there and chill with everyone, chat shit after the race, and then just cruise down the hill. And there was this section, right? Went from this one of the highest points in London, and you went round this roundabout left, flicked it right down this off-campus section, and if you saw the light just go green about 200 meters away, you sprinted to get to the light, and you go around this right-hander, which was so scary but so fast, and that would cruise you down this for the next section, another 4 corners, 50k an hour to your door, and it was the sickest ride home ever. It was so good.
There we go. That's perfect. That's what I wanted to hear. A rider comes towards you. What's your way? Are you a wave person, and what's your gesture? What's your sign? Are you an arm off? G'day, mate. Are you just a little finger off the bar? Are you just a simple nod? Or are you just a bit of a no gesture at all? On your way, buddy.
If they're a new cyclist, see they're a novice, I'll make an effort to properly wave. But if it's just quite an experienced cyclist, I'll just give a nod, you're right, pal, and that's it. What's
your reaction if you've given the nod or the wave and you just get clearly seen and just blanked? Does it annoy you, or you just let it just sort of dust off your shoulder, whatever?
I start quaking in my shorts that guy's going to beat me next race. That's about it. I'm oh man, I got shit. No, I just go, guy's got to be bored. Man's not happy. What can I do?
You've had a million bikes over your time, lots of different styles of bikes. Think back, what has been the best bike for you of all time? One of those bikes, doesn't have to be the fastest, just that bike that you just love.
Oh man, that's so hard.
Give me one. Doesn't have to be the ultimate.
I reckon my alloy sprint bike, because it's the multicolored one which we have for Red Hook Crit, and I still ride that bike today, even though I'm not really supposed to and stuff. But like, it just looks beautiful. It's alloy. It's durable. It was just like, and you could do anything on it. And the best bit, right, is that like I had like the fancy smart race version, carbon one, and my teammate came over from like Red Hook Day and was like, I can't bring a bike. It was like, oh, you can use my LA Sprint, and he was just like, no, I can't ride this bike. It's not good enough for the Tour Series and these wild guys. I went, right, you take my S-Works, and if I beat you on this, I'm gonna slap you so hard. And I lapped him on the alloy bike, and he was on my carbon like $8,000 race bike, and I was just like, you dickhead. It was like, that's why I fell in love with the alloy bike. And I was like, that's cool, man.
Very good. Let's do culture. Favorite race of all time? You could have done it. Maybe it was a race you always love to watch. What is your favorite race of all time?
No, Crystal Palace Crits, straight up, man. Honestly, yeah, because anyone could come there, no matter who they are, like world tour rider, and I can have fun with them there, and I can give them a race there, because it will be sick. You know, it's not just whatever. But favorite race series of all time is Red Hook Crit for sure. But favorite single race, Crystal Palace Crits.
Awesome. Favorite rider of all time?
You know what? It's changing, but I think the one I had the most liking into, like the one I liked the most, was probably Stebar.
Oh, nice.
And I think just, you know, like, yeah, there's weird reasons, but then you look at someone like Mathieu van der Poel, and how can you dislike the guy? And you know what? Actually, I'm going to say it annoys me, because sometimes his race head it annoys me. It winds me up.
Stebar, the favourite rider of all time? Favourite rider right now then?
For no rational reason other than I saw him when I was a junior, and he was the cyclocross guy that went to the road, and I was like, he does a bit of everything. And it was like the underdog that I wanted to do well in the road scene. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But then a favourite rider of all time, of just mad respect, it will be Tom Pidcock. Like, even though I know the guy, I still watch him ride a bike, yeah? And I'm like, that takes a piss. That's just, yeah, man, you're going to be sick. Like, I think he's doing all the things I wish I did as a kid. So not even with resentment, I look at him and I just go, well done.
How do you go if you go out mountain biking with him, not racing, skill-wise?
I don't know what he's like on an enduro, because I ride enduro bikes. So I think we'd be close. I think we'd be close on the downhills and stuff. I reckon that'd be a good little battle. That's something we got to set up, actually.
That's something for everyone listening out there already knows how good Tom is. And it's good just to get that level of skill, because I'm just, not that I've ridden with you, but I've just sort of heard, and I know that you're very, very skillful on the bike. And we all saw Tom Pidcock at the Olympics and in all the mountain bike World Cups. That's the only stuff I've seen. And you're like, mate, this guy knows how to ride a bike.
Yeah, he's top tier, man. He will be my favourite cyclist of all time, I reckon.
And favourite rider right now then? Is he going to get the double? It's got to. He's right now.
Yeah, I guess so, man. I guess so. Like, yeah, it feels like a cop-out, you know? Because I've never liked supporting the best rider, but I think watching him try and beat like Wout and Mathieu over the years, and like I think a lot of people are like, oh, you know, he's not like quite one of the big three or whatever. Bro, he's going to mash these people up. That's going to be cool to watch. So I look forward to that.
All right. What about your favourite kit and team? Now, this could be separate, but you could just like look at it and go, you know what? I love that kit on that team, like, you know, Mappe or Team Coast or whatever it was. But I also love the roster of that team. They used to have the best riders. Or you could go, I love that kit, but they had a worse team. The riders were crap. And I hated that kit, but I love that team. The riders were awesome. But they had, like, you could say, you know, AG2R kit forever. The worst kit ever, but I love that team. Whatever it is, what is it? Or is it the combo?
Hold up. AG2R kit, the brown shorts, a peak.
Oh, get out of here.
They're so good. You know what? And I've got a mate on the development team. I swapped in some Tekkerz kit for the full-on brown leggings, brown top. I've got it. That's, for me, in terms of current standards, that is the kit I'd want to wear.
Oh my gosh.
That kit is top tier. But yeah, in terms of riders in a team, look, man, how can I look past? Okay, next year or in a couple of years' time, when I see like 5 London guys in like whatever team they're in, whether it's Ineos or whatever kind of weird name they are at that point, It's going to be impossible for me to not love that team, because half of those guys I would have ridden with or like raced with and whatever and been friends with. But
you can't do that. You got to do one now. You can't just predict teams and go,
oh, okay. You know, it's rude. I don't have an answer because I don't care. No one's ever hit me like that. I know that's mad to say, but I've never ever looked at a team and gone, yeah, they're my favorite. That's how weak cycling is sometimes. And that's just an honest, brutal answer.
What about kit then? Let's just go full aesthetics. Are you like an old school guy, like, 80s, or are you a bit more like 90s, or you like sort of current day stuff?
I'm more 80s, 90s in terms of, what I like. You know who I'm going to root for? Because this is just a curveball and a half. Who was that team, that had the denim shorts and the denim, like the overalls?
Yeah, that was Carrera jeans. Yeah, Carrera jeans. Very good. Good answer.
They're there to just annoy people, and I love it.
Tick of approval. You know those Nicks actually had a pocket in them where a jeans pocket would be?
See, I tried to do this with Levi's, right? Because one of our sponsors is Levi's. I was like, can I stitch a Levi's pocket on? And we just thought it wasn't going to be possible, but that's just incredible. They've game, set, and match. They won.
All right, mate. Well, you might have a good one of these, a war story. This is one of those days where you just know it. It's in your head. You go, that day, it was just a day. Have you got a war story from it? It could be one of those Red Hook crits where it just didn't happen, or it did happen, but just the build up to it. I don't know. What is a war story for you? It might have been back in the day, Crystal Palace. I don't know.
There's one this is the result I'm probably most proud of, and it wasn't a win. It was Red Hook Crit 2017. I've been ill for like 2 weeks in the run up to it. It was home crit, riding for Specialized. It was like a big thing. I was like, yeah, I can win this race, whatever. And got to the final from like a shaky kind of qualification, like just feeling absolutely whacked, like was absolutely annihilated in heats. And I was like, there's no way I'm going to survive this final. Went back to the hotel, just like, I think I did like 7 shits. Like I was in a bad way, man. Like it was not good, bro. It was just like everything just felt wrong, And my teammate Stefan Schaefer was leading the series overall. So like in the qualification, I'd like spent so many of my chips just trying to protect his lead in the qualification for the bonus point. Anyway, it gets to the final. It starts raining. I'm like 4 laps in, moving up fine. I puncture, but then I'm rolling through the start-finish straight. Puncher's just gone past. I'm like, that's it. Day's done, man. I'm like kind of almost relieved. And I see Stefan Schaefer on the side of the road with his bike because he had a puncture too, but then he didn't get his wheel in quick enough to get back in the bunch because it took him a lap to do it. So then he throws me his bike. I get on the bike. The saddle was a little bit too small and they put the wrong cog on. So it was like a 48-15. So it was so spinny. Then I start chasing on to the back of the bunch.
So wait, he threw you in and went, I'm out. I can't get in. So you just keep going. And you're thinking, oh, yes, I'm out. And he's like, no, dude, you're back in. You're like, no.
Yeah, exactly. So, and everyone was like, yeah, man, go for it. So I'm like chasing this tiny gear and the gap's getting smaller and smaller. It's like 10 laps have gone by, right? And I'm like digging in, like considering there's like World Tour guys on the front of this, making this race hard. And it's like in the rain and I'm going around every corner. Like, I just don't care. And every time the tires are just fishtailing, man. Every corner, I'm on the limit. Because I couldn't make the speed back up on the straights because my gear was too small. So I had to just send it. Anyway, massive crash with like maybe 10 laps to go or something. And the race gets red flagged. Like, restart. They want to restart it. But then, so I'm on the start line and I'm like, I could see the bunch. She's like, no, you got a 15-second gap. I was like, bro, I could see the bunch. So I had to like re-bridge basically. Back off you go. And I'm screaming at the commissaires going, no, man. And these are like people that I'm cool with. I'm good friends. I'm like, no, man, screw you. The gap's like 5 seconds. I can see it. But in my head, like they're saying the front of the peloton starts with a 15-second gap. And I'm not equating for the rear of it, right? So after the whole peloton's been through, it probably was 5 seconds at the back of the peloton. So anyway, They count me down like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And there's like video footage of all this stuff. It's mad. And like, it's just one step back. I'm screaming at my mechanic because they got me on the start line, go, give me my bike back. I need my bike back with the new gear. And the referee wouldn't let me take my bike across the line because of the timing chip, because it messed everything up. So I threw my bike on the floor, and I'm running down the home straight to the pits. And I get my bike And I'm like, has he got the right gear on? Go back, get my bike, go across the line, throw the other bike over the fence into the crowd, and then start. And then within 2 laps, I just sprinted, got back on. And then it was like 4 laps to go. I got to like the front of the race. And I went, I know I'm not supposed to do this, but I'm going to have to just get on the front because I can't not now. Like, I've come from the back and I have to get on the front and just show that I'm here. And I came on, I'm not going to lie, it was like one of the sickest feelings ever. Like, London was just going, like, shouting my name. And I was like, this is pretty cool. And then I tried attacking, didn't work, got back in. And then this is the maddest thing that ever happened. 1 lap to go, I was like in 5th wheel. I'm going, I could win this, but I'm nailed. Like, I'm proper screwed. And there was like this World Tour, guy went World Tour, this sprinter called, what's his name? How can I forget his name? But anyway, he's like, rode for Cofidis for a little while, proper sick guy. And we're sprinting up the road with like 5 laps to go. He's got a lead out going on. And there's Colin Strickland in front of me. And we come around like the last half of the course. I remember dive bombing someone, just going, I've got to do it. And I was like, get into 4th wheel. And I'm sitting there going, one place on the podium. And like, I don't actually remember what happened. Like, it's the first time I've ever gone blank in my life. And I remember coming around the last corner and like squaring it off up the inside. I mean, I'm just going to sprint everything I've got to the line. I ended up rolling the guy for third place, just felt like a win. So to get on the podium after all that in London, with everyone just going nuts, it was so sick, man. I was like, we're never, ever like gonna have a win that feels that good. It was so cool, man.
That's like a war story turned on its head. I like it. All right, well, let's get into this last topic about you. BWS, beer, wine, or spirits. What's your choice of poison?
You're gonna hate me, you know? I don't even drink, bro. Check this out. I know you can't see this, yeah, but I made my own beer.
Oh my gosh.
And I called it the Post Palace Pale for like when you finish Palace. And it's got like a map of the Palace circuit on it.
How did you make your own beer if you don't drink?
Because I went to, my mate Reese Wood owns a brewery, Bianca Road Brewery in Bermondsey. And we held a party, like a pre-race party at his. It was sick, man. We had like bands and everything, and like it was like DJs. And, like 300 people turned up and like packed out this like huge brewery. It was sick. I was like, let's like design our own beer for it. And let's make something that we can sell throughout the year. Make it like really light, not too much of an alcohol level so people can like bang 1 or 2 and ride home. And I was like, let's just call it the Post Palace Pale Ale. And then I tasted it. I went, yeah, that's pretty refreshing. And I was like, let's make that. And then we sold it all out in one night. And we were like, oh, right. That's that.
It was still 5.5% I saw, so it's still pretty decent.
That a lot.
It's still just like a pretty normal beer. Yeah, it's good. It's not light. It's good.
1.8 units. There you go.
So tell me then, what coffee do you drink? No coffee either. Mate, you're clean as. You're just running on pristine fuel in that body.
I'm mad into Haribo and stuff like that, though, like sweets.
I don't have that question, unfortunately.
Yeah, but like what I lack in beer and alcohol, I make up for in bad food, man.
What's your favourite cross-training exercise, if there is one?
The warm-up cycle speedway efforts. Have you ever seen speedway where you do like a little oval, like 90-meter oval? It's big in Australia, actually.
Oh, yeah, the motorbikes where the back goes right out and they're like...
Yeah, they do a cycle version as well.
Yeah. Oh, yeah?
Yeah, man. There's no brakes. It's a free wheel. It's like on dirt and you slam each other, you body check each other constantly. It's like ice hockey meets cycling. It's mad. So check that out. And yeah, like we used to do in our cyclocross sessions, we used to do like warm-ups of those, like a little oval. We used to like race each other and like slide into each other. That was sick.
All right, most rewatchable race. What's that one race out there that you've seen and you think that, well, if someone hasn't seen it, you're like, you've got to go and watch this. What is that one race out there?
Oh, it's got to be when Ian Stannard smashes up them 3 quick-step boys. Like, that's just wrong. Against Boonen, Terpstra, and that other big dude. I don't remember his name, but that was like, this is rude. He went, you know what, yeah, you're attacking me, I'm attacking you, watch this. And they just went, oh. It's like, that was the most baller thing I've ever seen in cycling. And it just took the mick.
It's 2015 Omloop Newsblad, and it was just set up. He was away, Stannard's away with 3 quick-step guys, and they just keep lining him up, and he brings them back. Eventually, he comes to the sprint, and he just wins the sprint. You're just like, how's this even possible? It was so good. Like, it was underdog. Plus, Stannard's just an awesome guy. Like, you want him to win anyway. But if it was anyone else, you'd still want them to win in that scenario. If anyone hasn't seen that, you've just got to go and watch the last 10K because that's the best bit. But the whole race is awesome too. Great choice.
It's when you watch like one quick step rider attack and they go, I got you. And he just looks at them all and goes, I'll ride it back on. And it's just that moment where you go, oh, this isn't over. You can't believe it, man. That's like some Rocky Balboa madness. I don't understand. It's unbelievable. So they should make a movie about that race. They should make a movie about that.
That's one of the best choices I've had on that question. Very good. Very good. Now, I've added this question in for you tonight because you're a DJ. Get out there, you know, play some tunes. So when you're riding, do you wear headphones ever?
Yeah. I love it, man. Live in my own world. If a car's going to hit me, I don't want to hear about it.
Nice, me too. I've always got the headies in. Probably not advocate for safety, but I'm the same as you. I do like to get in the mode, whether it's listen to a podcast or listen to music on certain moments, up and down. What's playing in your headphones? I know it's a big question. It's a huge question. Give me a little bit of a rundown on what happens for you. What's your thinking when it comes to riding and music?
Oh man, I always thought about like starting like being a DJ and call myself ADHD DJ, as in like just because I cross genres so often. I do love like listening to mixes actually, like DJ mixes, like things from like Ben UFO and like those kind of guys, because the way they put together music is like they can make like a new tune out of two tunes. You know, they make two tunes together and it sounds like a new one. And it's like just following a journey in music like that's pretty sick. So when you want to ride, it's like, right, I've got 3 hours. Let me bang on like two-hour mix or something. And you just like, you ride with them, changing up the pace of the stuff. It's like listening to a story of music. That's what I'm into.
Who is it?
So listen to like someone like Ben UFO or Ben GB, listening to like Boiler Room sets and stuff like that. Like just like, especially when you can hear a crowd in there as well. You can hear how they've like kind of orchestrated a crowd to like feel different emotions and get hyped and then be chill and stuff. I love that stuff, man.
Yeah, nice. Oh, that's cool. All right, last question. Best thing for you about riding a bike, what is it? Why are you still pedaling a bike after all these years? What does it give you?
Oh man, it's just sick, isn't it? Like it's just the feeling. Like it can either be like winning a race and like just dubbing everyone out, or it can be trying to do a new jump which you haven't done before and scaring the crap out of yourself. Like that adrenaline hit is just top tier, man. Like you can't replicate that. That's what's in it for me. The freedom stuff and all that's cool. Escapism, all right, but I get bored after 10 minutes. Like I need something to scare me or something. That's what I'm into.
Mate, I love it. I love chatting to you tonight, mate. Thanks very much for being on the pod.
Thank you, man. It was an honor. Thank you.
Well, there you have it. Another Talking Luft, another great episode. Like I said, I've really enjoyed chatting with Alec over the last few episodes. He is a really great guy. And like I said, a lot of great feedback about those episodes with him. Well, how can you not like it? He's such a great character. Like I said at the start of the episode, if you do want to get your hands on a Last Sunday in Hell cap, they are now ready for you to go and get. Go across to lifeinthepeloton.com and grab yourself a hat. Get yourself ready for Roubaix in 3 weeks' time. I'm excited. It's an extra week this year because, you know, the UCI has moved it to the following week after Amstel Gold Race, but it doesn't matter. It's still there. It's not going to be late in the year like last year. I'm looking forward to it. Next episode, we've got Luke Durbridge on. We're going to be chatting about the classics. I'm going to have a chat to him the day after Tour of Flanders, which is happening this Sunday, and we're going to get a little bit of insight to what's happening over there in the classics. Guys, as always, thanks a lot for listening. I want to say a massive thanks to our title sponsor, Rapha, who make this podcast happen and allow me to go on these adventures and bring you stories of my life this year. So a massive thanks to Rapha, of course, Lara behind the scenes, and Will Jones, who's putting these episodes together. Guys, until next week, thanks for listening. The music in this episode was composed by Pete Shelley. Cheers, mate.